Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The Originals. This week we've seen Season 3, Episode 16, which is called Alone with Everybody. And, I literally just finished recording and uploading my Vampire Diaries review. Again, I apologize for the lateness, but again, work, it's just going to happen. I'm sorry, I don't like doing it either. I mean, I don't like, pushing it back either. I like watching my shows on time, but, you guys know I was a little bit lukewarm on the Vampire Diaries episode. It was just kind of okay to me. But the Originals impressed me again this week. It brought me an episode that I thought was actually very good, actually. This season's definitely been improving overall, especially the past chunk of episodes. I think they've all been pretty good. The Originals is definitely going about the Vampire Diaries again right now, for sure. Of course, I took my notes. Didn't show you guys that in my Vampire Diaries review, but I'm still doing that. We had a lot of things at play here. We had Klaus and Hayley on the run, and, it's... Again, I don't fully buy Klaus just going on the run. I don't know. I think he's strong enough not to just go all out and do that. And I thought it was a little bit weird that they joked about, why didn't we just fly to a tropical island somewhere or something like that. It's because they just want to keep the characters around. But yeah, it'd probably be a better solution to actually go away and hide instead of staying in the same general vicinity. But I guess that's just me. Overall, it was a very good episode. I definitely enjoyed it more than the TBD episode this week, but that's a different discussion in the last video if you want to watch that. We had Elijah. I sort of like the opening scene, how that was shot of Elijah, sort of stalking someone who was coming for Klaus, of course, with the White Oak being out there and everyone knowing that the link is broken. Of course, people are coming for Klaus slowly but surely. Because Klaus has made tons of enemies over the years. Let's see. We got a little bit more of a funny scene of Hayley trying to get Klaus to wear a hat. I think it said Mother Trucker. And yeah, Klaus should probably dress a little bit more casually if he really does want to, lay low. But I thought that was kind of funny. We meet this new vampire who's trying to go after the White Oak, or I'm kind of getting a little bit mixed up right now, but she's basically hired by someone who's of course obviously going after the Originals and Klaus and stuff like that. I don't know if we actually heard her name in this episode. I remember seeing an article about it before I was able to see the episode. Her name would be Sophia or something. I don't know, but I think she's a cool addition to a story. I thought she kind of works as sort of that somewhat badass female vampire chick, I guess, villainous. Of course, we get more of Lucian flirting with Freya, trying to give her flowers. I'm glad that was brushed off, and with the way Lucian turned out at the end of the episode, I'm glad he's probably going to be gone out of this season. I'm glad they're not really doing the whole Lucian-Freya romance. That would have been a little bit awkward, I think. Let's see. Of course, Cole really, really wants to kill Finn, and I think we all kind of want him to. But of course, Freya, she's trying to defend Finn a little bit, saying he's a little more peaceful this time, or he's changed, or he has a little bit of a different perspective at this point. But we see, not really. Hayley and Klaus, they go to this bar that Hayley used to frequent, to lay low, I guess. Again, I think they could have done better than that. But, apparently Hayley used to dance around a lot there and do whatever knows what else. It was just kind of funny seeing Klaus in that type of environment and stuff. We get a little bit more on Finn's perspective. He doesn't believe there can be any reconciliation with his siblings. He still wants to be put back into a witch's body. And Elijah is sort of the neutral force. He's trying to maintain peace with both sides. He's actually trying to hear what Finn's saying, and at the same time, he very much gets what Cole's wanting him to do, like we all do, as I said. The vampire for hire, she captures Josh. Josh put up more of a fight than I thought, though. He actually knocked around quite a few of her guys before they were able to, put him down, at least temporarily. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. And Hayley, she sort of gets on Klaus's back about not trusting, people outside of the family, or, just, not being really accepting of, outside help in general. She had an argument, but then at the same time, she basically says that Klaus is incapable of being a good person or something like that. I thought that was a little bit harsh, I guess. Are we, Elijah, and maybe a couple other characters, the only ones who see that Klaus has had some good, come out of him, for the past 2 seasons, or what? I don't know. But yeah, Hayley is a little bit annoying in that scene, frustrating, but I got her point, but she took it too far. I think she kind of over-exaggerated a bit. And, in some cases, Klaus would kill and, mistrust people where he probably shouldn't have, but at the same time, his paranoia and his guard of his family, has saved him in other scenarios too, and it's a paranoia that he probably should have at this point, So I think Klaus is kind of justified. Let's see. Davina trying to distract Cole, Cole eventually gives into her a little bit, but then, he has this hunger that he's having a difficult time controlling. We'll talk more about Cole in a second. Cole actually turned into one of the highlights of this episode, but again, we'll talk about that in a minute. Marcel and Vincent, they actually corner the Hire with quite a few of their people. The Hire, warns them about, the person who hired her, saying that they're all as good as dead, or, she is too if she tells them the name. And we find out Lucian's having a huge hand in what's going to be going on, but I'm not sure if he's the one who hired this little chick or not. I was a little bit confused about that. I don't know, I didn't go to bed very early last night. I stayed up later than I should have, so that's probably a factor. But again, I kind of like the build-up they're giving, whoever it was anyway. But in what was probably the best scene of the episode, we get Cole talking about, how he still can't really control himself, his anger, his hunger. He never really learned to, channel it or, sort of regulate it really, or control it, basically. Elijah's there to console him, and Cole saying how he actually wants to be better, for Davina. He couldn't live with himself if he hurt her. And I really hope they keep Cole around at this point. They're developing him pretty well, actually. We met him, pretty early on in the Vampire Diaries, so to go back and see that and then look at this, it is pretty good character development. I hope they can kill off Finn if they want to, but I think Cole, I think it would be a great idea if Cole is made a permanent member of the cast at this point. I definitely hope he makes it through season 7 at the very least. I'm really happy that they have the original actor back too. I think he's doing a good job. The guy who played him in the other body was okay too, but I definitely like that we have the original actor. It means so much more when we actually see him say these things as himself and stuff. I've made that point before. But that was a great scene. I love the music that went with it, and Hayley was also wanting to help out this girl who she knew who had just accidentally killed her first human, so she's going to be turning soon. And yeah, it was kind of stupid for them to go out like that, as Klaus said. But Hayley, she has to do what she wants to do. But it probably would have been a little bit of a dull scene of Hayley trying to help, or Hayley, talking to the girl, but the music that went along with it was really good, so it kind of helped the emotions of it all, and it ended up making the scene work, so that was fine. I really like this moment. Davina is overall very annoying to me, but I'll give her a thumbs up for what she did in this episode at the end with locking Finn in his own body, at least for now, so he can't be transferred into another one. That was awesome. Finn attacks her, of course, and Cole shows up. We get a pretty cool fight between Cole and Finn, actually. It only lasted, a handful of, a little chunk of time, but I thought the back and forth was pretty cool. It was cool to see Cole get the advantage in the fight at the end. And it looked like he was going to burn Finn, which I would have approved. But again, Elijah and Freya stop him. Let's see what else. Yeah, I wrote so much I had to end up writing on the side like that. Talked about Hayley helping the wolf girl. I think her name is Kayla or something like that. Let's see. Elijah, he's going to burn the White Oak a bullet, but, Finn talks about how he can't fathom, or he doesn't want to think about the idea of this being like a permanent thing for him, so he basically wants a way out, like some other characters might. So they basically try to talk Elijah down from burning it, and they end up giving it to Freya to hide, burying it under 1,000 spells, supposedly, and stuff, so no one else will know where it is, but they're gonna know where it is. They would have found out anyway, whether Freya got captured at the end of the episode or not. You know how it goes, but Elijah should have just burned it. Let's see. This this thing also takes over Vincent, which was a pretty creepy scene, I thought, with the way his eyes looked and stuff. And they end up capturing Freya, and again, you guys know how it is with Freya. I really like her character. I think she's played really well, but they just underpower her so much. They underpower Klaus too. We've seen what Klaus is capable of, and all of a sudden the plot makes it so he's all of a sudden weaker in a certain fight for no reason whatsoever. And with Freya, she's like one of the strongest witches we've ever seen on either show, and she just gets kind of like knocked off the side basically. They really need to start doing better with Freya. They better keep her around for the whole series, but I really hope within the next season or two they give her a huge storyline to sort of emphasize how powerful she actually is, instead of making her weak for the plot convenience. It's just annoying. I don't really like that. I don't like how they're handling Freya, but I don't think any of us do really. And like I said, at the end we see Lucian has a hand in this. So overall it was a good episode. It had some really good moments in it, with Cole especially, but I also liked Klaus and Hayley sort of agreeing to try and work more together, try and share a similar mindset more often, or try to at least listen to each other a little bit more, for the sake of hope. As Klaus said, partners, so it's kind of a touching scene. And I'm one of those people that think there could be a chance for Klaus and Hayley to sort of rekindle whatever connection they had in the future. I think it's possible. And, I could see someone else being out there for Elijah too, but we'll see where it goes, But overall, good episode, especially with the Cole bits, and Klaus is good as always, so that's always fun. But overall I did like it. So let me know what you guys thought. Again, bring up anything that you want to hear more of my thoughts on in the comments below. Always enjoyed talking about it with you guys. And so that's all I have to say. I'll catch you guys a little bit later. I'll be watching the premiere of Winona Earp. I'm late on seeing that as well, but I'll be getting a review of that out at some point tonight. And you'll also see me doing my Walking Dead review with finale Sunday, as always. Looking forward to seeing what who the hell Negan's gonna kill. It's gonna be awesome and terrible at the same time. So you have that coming up, and hopefully by Monday, me and my girlfriend will be hanging out, and we'll probably do our review of Batman v Superman. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, MoviePilot, and look for InSwellded.com. Peace.